For our first example, we have that the mean height of American males is 69.5 inches. The heights of the 43 male U.S. presidents, Washington through Obama, have a mean height of 70.78 inches and a standard deviation of 2.77 inches. Treating the 43 presidents as a simple random sample, determine if there is evidence to suggest that the U.S. presidents are taller than the average American male. Use the alpha equals 0.05 level of significance. So first we need to check the random sample, that it's a simple random sample. The answer is yes, because they told us to treat the 43 presidents as a simple random sample. Are there outliers, and is the population normally distributed, or is n large enough to assume? We can assume the population of potential U.S. presidents is large, and our sample size is greater than or equal to 30 because it's 43 presidents. So we can also assume that the sample mean is approximately normal. And is the sample size less than 5% of the population? And I realized I just filled that in backwards. Sorry, let's try that again. Are there outliers? Probably not. I mean, Abraham Lincoln was tall, but I don't think he's an outlier. So we can assume there are no outliers. And since our sample size is greater than or equal to 30, we can assume that the sampling distribution of the sample mean is normally distributed. And is the sample size less than 5% of the population? We can assume so, because the population of potential U.S. presidents is very large. We know the population is large of potential U.S. presidents because any adult aged 35 or older who is a natural-born U.S. citizen and lived within the territorial boundaries of the United States for 14 years can become president, if elected. Okay, now we need to state the hypotheses. So our H naught is the mean equals the population mean of 69.5. And we want to know if U.S. presidents are taller, so that means that the mean is greater than the 69.5 inches of the general population. If we select the significance level, we were told alpha is 0.05. So now we want to use our t-test. And we need mu 0, which is 69.5. We need the sample mean, that's the one of the U.S. presidents, which is 70.78. We need the sample standard deviation, which is 2.77. And we need the sample size, which is 43. So when we put that in, our test statistic we call T0. And we also need our p-value. So let's go put those numbers in. Here's the calculator. And we are going to go to stats, over to tests. We want option number 2, t-test this time. We want to put it on stats because we have our statistics. We do not have raw data. Our mu 0, we said, was 69.5. Our sample mean of the 43 presidents, was 70.78. The sample standard deviation was 2.77. And our sample size is 43. And we want greater than, because we said we're seeing if they're taller on average. Then we go down to calculate, hit enter. Our test statistic is 3.03 and our p-value is 0.0021. So we can write that down. Our test statistic, 3.03, p-value is 0.0021. So state our decision. The p-value is definitely less than alpha because the p-value is 0.0021 and alpha is 0.05. So that means we reject the null hypothesis. So if we state the conclusion, there is sufficient evidence at the alpha equals 0.05 significance level to conclude that U.S. presidents are taller than the typical American male. We'll do another example in the next video.